Hello! I hope you guys are all okay and all good. Welcome to another video. My name is George. For those of you who don't know, feel free to subscribe down below if you're not already. And this, just when you thought it was safe to come back to my channel because I wasn't doing writing vlogs anymore, BAM! The sequel. Enough of you said at the end of my 5 Happy Things videos that you would want to see writing vlogs again. These are not going to be weekly because weekly did not work for me last time. They just ended up being boring and repetitive. So I'm just going to kind of record footage as and when, club it all together and turn it into a thing. So this video pretty much goes from mid-April to like Saturday just gone, so it is quite a length of time. I've tried to keep it as brief as possible so it's not too boring, but this is the start of my writing journey for what will hopefully be book 2. The reason I'm jumping in to do an intro is because I didn't do an intro on the last set of these videos, so that's a rookie mistake. So basically the point that I'm at in terms of my writing journey is that Boy Queen is almost done. There are a couple of things left, so I need to start working on my second book. Boy Queen was a 1-book deal. So because of that, it means I need to now be going after a new contract so that I have a new book hopefully coming out in 2021. So what I did back in April, I sent some outlines off to my agent and then ended up kind of telling him the ideas that I liked and ended up picking the 2 that I was going to work on. More of that detail is in the rest of this video, but I thought I would just preface everything with that. So I'm currently writing, which is good. Though at times in this video, you'd be forgiven for thinking that I'm not. I'm going to stop talking now, but I'll be back at the end to do a teeny tiny summary of what we've learned so far, because I feel like that's a necessary thing. So on to the video.
Hello loves. I've just realised at like 5 minutes to midnight on Monday, the 6th of April, that I have potentially started a new book journey. I mentioned in my 5 Happy Things, which went up today, that I have been working up new outlines and starting writing new things as to what would be my next book with potentially Pan Macmillan. Today, I finished my outlines. I put them all in a document. There's like 6 or 7 of them, so probably too many. But I put them in a document and I sent them to my agent and said, obviously we're in the middle of a lockdown. So it was very like, I don't know if this is the right thing to do, but just in case it is, here are some outlines for you. So it is the 6th of April. It is the beginning of yet another writing journey. Off we go. We'll see what he says. I don't know whether he'll come back to me tomorrow. I don't know when he'll come back to me, if at all. I don't know what this situation is. He may just come back and say, George, not now. But we'll see. But I realised that I probably should have started a video when I sent that. So there we go. I'm starting it. Off we go again.
Hey darlings. I have turned on my makeup mirror just so I have a little bit of light for this. It is Thursday the 16th of April. I've not heard back from my agent yet with the synopses that I sent over. I sent them over 10 days ago. But obviously with everything that's happening in the world right now, I'm not really like pressed about him not getting back to me or anything, especially because like now I'm currently working on the proofread for Boy Queen, so that came through on Tuesday and they want it for Friday, which is tomorrow, and I still have 90 pages to go, so we'll see how that goes. But I just wanted to kind of not make it so that there was such a huge gap between the last video and the next one, like this. I don't even know what this is, book 2 diary or whatever. So because I was working on the proofread today, of course my brain went to like anywhere that wasn't the proofread. And sorry, my hair is also wet. I've just washed my face. I'm like gonna crawl into bed and read a book in a minute, and well, after I've done my skincare routine. So because I was working on the proofread today, my brain was like working away in the background and like obviously coming up with things which I didn't even know that I needed at this point. And one of those things was a pitch line for one of the 2 books that I'm sort of working on at the moment. So there are 2 of the ideas that I sent to my agent that I really liked. The 2 that I put first, they're the ones that I was like most keen on working on. So I put those higher up the list because I've just sent him like a block of like 7 different things because I'm insane. That was like the first one that I put down, which is a sort of take on... Sorry, past George, I'm gonna have to stop you right there. I decided at this point in the video it would be a really good idea to tell you exactly what one of the things I'm working on is. The reason that I don't think this is a good idea and the reason that I'm jumping in to stop myself is because this book may not happen. All of the things that I'm currently working on right now might not happen. And in the past, I have also kept my book ideas secret because I don't want to have to tell people when a book isn't happening. Does that make sense? I don't want to like kind of talk about something so much and get really, really excited about it only to have to say, this is now not happening. So I am jumping in to cut myself off so I don't tell you too much. And yeah, just trust me that I was really excited about the concept and the idea that I'd had, which is why I was talking about it. But yeah, I'm jumping in to stop myself. Sorry. We're writing again, guys. I've literally got you sat on a stack of Boy Queen proofs, which is really fun. I've got them on my desk because I'm trying to keep them there as like a little reminder that I can write another book. You've done it before. I mean, actually, I say that like, how many books have I written before? One that didn't get me an agent, the one that did get me an agent, the one that my agent didn't like, the one that my agent did like, but didn't go on submission, the one that we both loved and sent out on submission and no one wanted it, which was gutting, and now Boy Queen. So Boy Queen is technically book 6. So the next thing I do is technically book 7. So you've done it. I've done it 6 times over. Onwards. So I'm sat here. I've just made my 5 happy things for April video where I talked about writing. And I don't know whether anyone's going to want me to do writing vlogs again, but this is for that in case they do. I was lying in bed last night, and I probably should have made a video about this morning or something like that while it was fresh in my head. But I suddenly like had this moment of like figuring out what the title of this book could be, or the working title at least. So at least when it gets submitted, it will come with a title rather than Untitled Gay YA blah 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 blah. I'll actually have a title for it, which I think is really cool. I think it might be a good title as well because it fits into my concept, it fits into the idea that I have. So that's nice. It means I can name the document now instead of calling it Untitled Second Book Project or whatever I've called it. So I'm hopefully going to be able to work on it today. Today's Monday the 27th of April. I'm hopefully going to be able to work on it today. I've got a comms meeting about Boy Queen at 2 o'clock. I went for a run this morning. I've had some like self-tape stuff to do. I've just made a video. I have to edit this video. I have some freelance work to do. I might not get a chance to write today, but I really want to because like I've not touched it in like a week. And I really want to, because I've even talked to people about it. Like I've spoken to Mia, who is Cozy Reads on Instagram, who has a book coming out called Ship of Shadows in May, I think. But Mia has a book coming out as well. And we were just talking about book stuff. And I was telling her about this book and she thought it sounded like a really cool idea. And I've spoken to my friends, Lani and Katie, about it. And they think it's a good concept too. And it's like, George, write the damn book. So I need to write the damn book. I also need to have some breakfast because it is, what time is it? It's 11:30 and I've not had breakfast yet, because I've had stuff to do. So I need to do that. It's hard being a grown-up. But also, can we appreciate the fact that I'm wearing jeans today? Like, I'm wearing jeans in lockdown. All dressed up, nowhere to go. Hello, loves. So today is Tuesday, the 28th of April. I look knackered. I've just realised. I apologise most sincerely for that. This is the day after I've recorded my 5 happy things video where I asked, I'm sorry about the mess on my bed. There's my cereal bowl. God, I've lost my train of thought. Yesterday I recorded my 5 happy things and I mentioned writing vlogs. I had a couple of people saying that they would like them. So I'm just going to crack on, and at some point what I will do is I'm just going to keep taking footage whenever I'm working on stuff, whenever I'm writing on stuff, and then at some point I will edit it together. So maybe when I'm like stuck for an idea for a Monday video, I will have this to go on, maybe. I don't know. But I had an email back off my agent this morning because I pitched him a few ideas a couple of weeks ago and then picked one to work on. Actually, there were 2. I've mentioned this already. There were 2 ideas that I really liked and I started working on both, and then I picked one and I started working on one. And he's come back to me. He likes the idea. He also liked the other idea. So I might end up working on both of them again, which I'm not averse to. Like, it's kind of fun. It means that I can jump between the 2, and I can have a day where I work on one and a day where I work on another, and that'll be really fun for me. So as you will know, I didn't get any writing done last night. I had too much freelance work to do, which is both a blessing and a curse. So I was doing that last night, which is why I probably look so tired, because I was up until like 2. I'm at my desk now. I'm emailing my agent back, and then I'm gonna do a bit of freelance work, and then I'll probably do a little bit of writing before like my work day ends. And then I've got the rest of this week and I can work on some more stuff then. So I'll keep you posted on word count and stuff. I think I might end up writing 2 things at once. Just to kind of clarify, this is the stage that we'd be at this point. Yes, I am writing new books, plural, but also the next thing to do in terms of like the writing journey, because Boy Queen was a 1-book deal. The next thing to do is to get another book contract so that I have another book coming out in 2021. In an ideal world, it'll be a contract that has more than 1 book in it so that I'm like secure for a couple of years or whatever. So I will be working on so that's my next like thing. So what I'll be doing with these 2 books, yes, I'll be working on both of them, but I'll be working on like 2 samples just for the time being. 2 samples and a synopsis. So the sample for Boy Queen ended up being about 20,000 words. So I'll probably shoot for between 15 and 20 on both of these. And then I have to write exactly what's going to happen for like the whole book, which will obviously be really useful for me when I come to write it, but also hopefully be really useful for Pan Macmillan when they come to hopefully take it to meetings and hopefully try and buy it, because then they'll know what they're getting a little bit. So yeah, that's the stage I'm currently at in terms of this like whole writing journey, because this is a whole thing. Like when you're out of contract, the next thing to do is to get the next contract so you know what you're doing. So you're sort of, in a weird way, you're sort of back to where you were when you were trying to get a publisher the first time around, except you've already done it once. So because you've done it once, in theory you would think it might be easier to do it again. So we'll see. Either way, I now have writing to do, which is great. That's a really good thing for my brain, because in times like this, I either need to dive into other people's worlds on the old bookshelf, or I need to make my own worlds. So let's make some worlds for a bit, shall we? George Lester, you're a liar and a skank. I haven't even put you on a tripod. I've lent you on the copies of my Boy Queen proof. Just to have a little update, I was editing the videos that I'd taken so far for this writing vlog that like a couple of you were interested in seeing, of me writing what would be my second published book, hopefully, if someone buys it. And I've not touched it. It's the 12th of May, and I've not written a damn word. For a multitude of reasons. The first reason for this is that I'm terrified. Like, I keep on going to do it and not doing it. And it's because I'm just scared of it being terrible. And this sucks because like Boy Queen was terrible in the first draft. There were parts of it that sucked the big one. And like, it's kind of scary being back at that point where I'm at the beginning again. And I just have like nothing. And I have to like make it into something. Well, I don't have nothing. I have ideas and I have like minor outline for a beginning, but do you know what I mean? Yeah, I think so many people are saying so many lovely things about Boy Queen that there is that little bit of me that's like scared of writing something else, because like people are saying lovely things about it, and what if I can't do it again? What if I can't write another thing? That's the thing that worries me. So that's one. Number 2 is that in the last 2 weeks I have had moments where I have felt just like so unbearably like sad. Like I've had freelance work to do, so any focus that I've had I've put into that, but yeah, I'm really struggling to not kind of get in my feelings about all of this, and like the fact that the world is sort of falling apart. And like, I think another thing that makes me sad is that sometimes I'll think about like that my book comes out in August, and it's possible that there won't even be shops open for me to like go and see my book in public. And I know there's a lot of people that are going through this, a whole lot of people who are feeling this way. And also, like, Kim, there are people that are dying. But like, that's just like a little thing that makes me sad every now and again. So I've not started really. I think about it every now and again, and then I don't do anything about it. So I need to just actually do the thing and write the samples, because if I don't write anything, then I'm definitely not going to have a book out in 2021, because there won't be a book, or there won't be a book to buy. Like, there won't be a book for Pan Macmillan or anyone else to buy for me to write. So yeah, that's where I am right now. I've not started doing anything yet. So I need to find the motivation. I need to find, I don't know what it is. Is it strength? Is it like just having to push through these like feelings of like self-doubt and like sadness and just do it? This is hard. So that's where I am right now. I've just edited like a part of a video where I'm saying, right, cool, let's get started. I'm writing 2 things. It's going to be great. And then I'm just sat here like 14 days later, like, I've not done it. So that's where I am. Maybe I'll write something later. Maybe I won't. The latter seems likely. Hello kids, it is Friday, the 15th of May. Once again, too lazy to put you on a tripod, but no more whining, no more complaining, no more bitching and moaning about like being scared and how hard this is. I'm just going to do it. I've put a full day schedule in today. Jordan is working, I've been for a run, I've had some breakfast, it is 11:30 and I have to start working on these samples, otherwise there will never be another book. So I just have to do it. So I'm just going to dive straight in. I've got an email to reply to from Macmillan about like publicity stuff, which is exciting. So I'm going to reply to that, get all my ducks in a row, and then I'm just gonna like write some words and we're just gonna make something happen. Okay? We're just gonna do it because that's all we can do. We can't go outside. We're in quarantine. The world is falling apart. All I can do as a writer is write. So I'm going to write. More as we get it. That is a hat. It is still Friday the 15th of May. It is 6:30. I've written about 3,000 words today. And I'm kind of pleased with that. I've got like the first chapter of one of my two ideas. It's sort of together-ish. I need to stop focusing on making it like amazing or making it like, do you know what I mean? Like I need to stop trying to edit it now when what I really need to be doing is moving on and carrying on with the story. So I'm like 3,000 words into idea number one. I'm enjoying it. Like I don't know, like it's weird. I've not written anything in such a long time. It feels sort of weird and sort of out of the box to be doing it again, especially starting from like practically nothing. So this is cool. I'm at like 3,000 words, which is really great. It's very productive for like a first day back at it properly. One chapter in and it's fun. It's fun so far. I don't know if it will be the thing, but I'm writing it as if it's going to be the thing, and we'll just have to see. I also, incidentally, because I'm nuts, had like a different idea this morning for something I just want to write an outline to, just so I have it. Like there's like no guarantee that that would be the thing that they would pick, but I wanted to outline it while it was in my brain, so I sort of did that as well. So I've written sort of like half an outline and also 3,000 words of a new thing, and I'm not going to stop now. I've still got half an hour before I need to like start making dinner and stuff, so I'm going to possibly keep working on this idea for now, and then maybe I'll jump into a bit of the other one later on today. But either way, 3,000 words on idea number one, and that feels like something of a milestone considering the weirdness of the world and the fact that I've been scared of it for so long, so that's good. Yay. I also feel the need to say this, and it sounds like I'm making excuses, and I sort of am, but yes, I started writing at 11:30, but I did then have like a 2-hour video call with my friends Katie and Lani, which actually I really needed. Like I didn't know I needed it until I had it, and then it was only when I came to do stuff afterwards that it was like, oh, I needed this to sort of like set me up and get me going. So yeah, that was nice. So it's been more productive in the time that I've had than it seems. So I've not just had like 7 hours and I've written 3,000 words. It's more like 4. Is that better? It's 12:30 on what is actually now Saturday. So I think it might be time for me to go to bed. I'm at 4,000 words. I've like just spent an evening with Jordan and like he went to bed, and now I've just been working since then pretty much, and I'm at 4,000 words. I'm like a little way into chapter 2, and yeah, it's going okay so far. Like it's fun, I'm enjoying it. Like I sent the first chapter to Katie and Lani tonight because they read the first few pages, the first like samples of Boy Queen before that went off to Pan Mac, so I sort of wanted to kind of get a sense that what I was doing felt right and that it was kind of the right thing and that it wasn't terrible. So I sent that off, and Lani read like part of it quite quickly and said that she was really enjoying it, which was nice. And I feel like that's given me like a little bit of a boost. So this feels like it's working a bit better now, purely because I've had someone tell me that it's semi-decent, which tells you everything that you need to know about the fragility of me. So I'm at 4,000 words. I'm going to give it a rest and then pick it up again tomorrow probably. in between like some freelancey stuff that I've got to do. So yeah, more tomorrow. We're on it. Hello, good afternoon. It's Saturday. It's 1 o'clock. I have had quite a lazy morning, if I'm entirely honest. Like, I woke up at like 8:30, sort of started getting myself together, watched Drag Race, loved that. Very pleased with the top 3, though I would argue it should be a top 4, because the person who got eliminated should probably be invited back to make it a top 4, but we're not going to go into that because that's not what this video is about. I've also done some singing this morning and some like other stuff, and now I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write for a bit before I go for my daily government mandated walk. I know that we're allowed multiple exercise days now in England, but I don't buy it because I think it's wrong. So I'm going to take my walk in like an hour when I've got some writing done, use it as a way of clearing my head, and then I'll probably come back and do work, like freelancey work, before Jordan comes home. So that's my day. It is Saturday the 16th of May, in case that's unclear. But yeah, yesterday was such a good writing day that I'm just really, really pleased with how all that went. So I'm eager to like dive back in and do more today. Possibly on the book I was working on yesterday, although it's tempting to kind of jump over and do something on the second idea today. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'll let you know. Nothing quite like figuring out a thing that you like to have in books. Like, I'm writing this one and I realise that what I like to write is like fast, snappy Gilmore Girls style dialogue. I like sad boys and love stories. I feel like if I could sum up everything that, like, the 2 books that I'm writing right now and Boy Queen, like that's kind of like the essence of it, is like sad boys, gay love stories, and like snippy, snappy Gilmore Girls dialogue. I feel like that kind of sums it up. I am on my walk. I've been lucky enough not to like see too many people, which feels like something of a blessing. But yes, I am on my walk. It's a beautiful day. It's 18 degrees. I'm wearing jeans and underwear and everything. Oh, and there's a runner coming behind me. That's all good. So I got myself to 6,200 words, which I was really, really pleased with, because I'd not like intended to write like so much, if I'm entirely honest. Like, I hadn't intended to get so far with it, but I got to the end of chapter 2 with like a little gap that I need to fill in. So these chapters are actually quite long, I think. I can't remember how long the chapters are in Boy Queen, so saying that is probably pointless. But yeah, I'm at the end of, I got to the end of chapter 2. I did something that I don't normally do, and I actually stopped at the end of a chapter. So when I get back, I'll probably try and pick up the start of chapter 3, just to kind of keep that flow there, and so that when I do come back to it in a couple of days, I'm not gonna like feel like I'm starting over. So when I get back, I'll do like a small amount of work. I'll probably get 1,000 or so words into chapter 3, just so, like I said, it doesn't feel like starting over when I come back to it. And then I will, I've got to film a video for Monday, so I'll do that, and then I'll freelance until Jordan comes home. So today's been dead productive, and I'm happy with it. And now I'm gonna finish my walk while listening to finishing off the Sue Perkins audiobook for like the 50th time. So it is Wednesday the 20th of May. I'm filming this on the day it goes up. In the end, I made it to 6,339 words on sample number 1. Sample number 2 is still at 0, and I've not touched anything for sample number 3. I mentioned briefly in that video that I was doing like a third sample. It's not so much a sample, it's more of just like an outline for what would be a Boy Queen sequel. The only reason that I'm doing that is just in case Pan Macmillan want one. Like, I would love to write one because I enjoyed writing it. I enjoy the world. I enjoy the characters. I feel like there are more stories to tell, so I'm gonna offer them that. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'll actually write anything of a sample. So that's just a thing that I'm putting out there into the universe. Things we have learned. 1, writing during a pandemic is hard. When I was watching those videos back, I could see like the video where I'm really sad and I'm talking about my sadness. Like, that clip is so much longer than what I put in there, because I go on about how sad I've been feeling, and it's just a lot to deal with. But writing during a pandemic is hard. Being creative during a pandemic is hard. So once again, let me remind you, if you are one of the people that is feeling pressure to be creative and feeling pressure to do things and like make something incredible, don't do that. Like, I'm feeling that pressure, of course, and there were days, obviously there was like a fortnight where I couldn't write a damn thing, and that's fine. And I've happened to find a few days last week where I could, and that's great. And I'm hoping to carry that on. Thing number 2, having a support network is always useful. Sending the book to Katie and Lani and getting a teeny tiny bit of feedback from them, because Lani read the rest of it and Katie's read it now as well. Having them come back to me and like kind of give me like a few pointers on it, a few notes on it, telling me what they think, that they enjoyed it for one, which was great. But also then to talk like about little bits of it with them and be able to just like throw out some questions was really helpful. It means that like it gave my brain, it stimulated my brain and it helped me to figure out how to move forward with it. And obviously not everyone has friends they can do that with. If you have an agent you can do that with, or writer friends, anything like that, find someone who will read your work for you and who will like give you like a little something. Like I sent them 3,000 words, which obviously isn't a huge amount of book, but it was just enough to give them a taste, and it was enough that I could kind of get a sense for whether or not I was heading in the right direction. So very useful notes and very, very fun. And like a useful thing to have. I'm like so grateful to have them in my life, that I have people that I can do that with. So yes, if you can find people like that, it's always a good idea. Creating a little community for yourself is always, always useful. Having people who will be honest with you, who will tell you if it's terrible, who will say to you, this sounds like this, or this part isn't working so much. That's what you need. You don't need people that are going to pay you lip service. It's just pointless. Third, I wear a lot of stripy t-shirts. I've been a stripy t-shirt person for a very long time. I consider it part of my life uniform. But in this video, it's very exposing that I wear a lot of stripes. It's not a bad thing, just an observation. Thing number 4, the beginning of writing anything is always hard. It's always equal parts the hardest bit and the most exciting bit. That's what I think anyway. I think it's the hardest bit because it's right at the very beginning of everything and you've got like an entire world to create. You've got a blank page and it's terrifying, but it's also the easiest part because if you allow yourself to play, you'll discover things, you'll have fun while you're doing it. That's what I find anyway. There was a lot of talk on Twitter at the tail end of last week about how people write. Are you a planner? Are you a pantser? Do you write in chapters? Where do you finish? Do you finish in the middle of a chapter or at the end of a chapter? And I mentioned briefly in the book that I finished something at the end of a chapter. I finished like a writing session at the end of a chapter, which is not something that I usually do. And the reason I don't usually do that is because it does feel like, I feel like for me personally, it breaks my flow because it feels like I've finished something. And because you don't necessarily wrap something up with the end of a chapter, but it is a sort of an ending of a section. So because of that, sometimes it makes it really hard to pick back up again. So I always try and finish in the middle of a chapter. And I feel like I didn't explain that well enough in the video. So I'm explaining it for you now. Yes. Hold the phone. Who forgot to do the end of the video emoji? I did. So I'm diving in seconds after I've put my tripod away, just to say that if you made it to the end of this video, please leave me the lemon emoji. Why? Because when life gives you lemonade, make lemons. Life will be like, huh? What's that from? If you know what that's from, also comment that down below. Yes. Back to like me on a tripod and not like moving like a weirdo. But that is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope it was useful in some way. As I said, my word count is currently at 6,399 for sample number 1, 0 for sample 2, and 0 for sample 3. But we move on. This is just writing vlog number 1. This is the beginning of a brand new journey. So I am about to get to my desk and do some work. So that is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, don't forget to put a thumb on it and subscribe down below if you want to see more. Feel free to also let me know if there is anything you want me to make a video about, because sometimes I'm stuck for ideas. And if there's something you want me to do, let a bitch know. But that is the end. I love each and every one of your faces and I'll speak to you as soon as I possibly can. Bye!